Hey, what's up, real estate duck hunters? All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about coronavirus, right? It's been very impactful, the whole COVID-19, right? And so let's do a video about it, and then let's talk about how it's been affecting my businesses, basically. Oh my gosh, you heard that? I'm so embarrassed. Yeah, go. Birthday girl? I'm filming now.
Hello.
How old are you? 22. All right, guys. So, whether you believe in the hype, there's a lot of conspiracies going on about the coronavirus, etc. So it doesn't matter whether you believe the hype, you don't believe the hype, whatever. What we can agree on is that it has been impactful, to mainly the small business owner, right? But it has been impactful to stores and our life around us, right? So I was going about my business, right, and I had sort of like another epiphany on why I really, really appreciate apartment locating in general, right? So I'm going to lead up to that, right? So this is what's going on. So the vacation rental business that I manage, right? I've managed a short-term rental business, 4-bedroom house. It's like 3,700 square feet in north of Austin. We've had like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of cancellations, like for the next couple of months booked, right? Because here in Austin, we have like, the big events that go on, like St. Patty's Day, right? That's really, really popular here in Austin. Everywhere's usually really flooded. ACL, South by Southwest, F1, right? So people book for these dates, right? Etc. And we've had tons of cancellations on this vacation rental property, right? So like the coronavirus has really, really impacted my rental business, right? So that's been really, really tough to cancel thousands of dollars. And some of the guests that booked on my calendar, they were actually like outside of refund policy, but it was just such a big deal that like you sort of still have to honor the refund, right? So that's been kind of stressful. My physical products businesses as well. I've had lots of returns and cancellations on physical orders, right? Just on my online stores as well. I think people are just trying to save money and I think they're not trying to spend extra money on stuff. That might be the reason why. So my businesses have been impacted like that, like my online stores. So that's been kind of stressful. Like all of the gyms and the Lifetime Fitness, all the gyms right around me have been closed. So it's been hard for me to work out, right? Like I try to like get into apartment complex gyms to work out, and even those are closed, right? So you can't even like walk in and ask the leasing office to work out in their gyms because all the amenities are typically closed, right? And so it's been kind of tough, right? It's been tough on like fitness life. It's been hard on business with cancellations and refunds, even for online stores, not just real estate related, like not just my vacation rental business. But it's been really hard, right? But it's funny because the one business that actually has not been affected, in fact, you could argue it's been going easier and seamless because of the process, is apartment locating. Okay, and let me explain why, right? And I sort of had it as I was managing the refunds and the cancellations and getting kind of sad. I had another epiphany, right? My locating business remotely wasn't affected, and so I always get reminders like this, every a couple times a year on why I really, really appreciate apartment locating and sort of it's like what would I do without the apartment locating industry, right? So I've been doing okay, thank God, because of apartment locating throughout the whole COVID-19 like pandemic, right? And so the reason I think this is happening is because if you think about it, when there's a really big emergency, a country emergency going on, sort of like this, and some states are being quarantined, like look at what's happening with California and Santa Clara and all those counties in the Bay Area, they're on quarantine, right? So they can't even walk outside their house unless it's for an essential reason, right? If you look into the news. So the point I'm trying to make here is that when things like this happen, right, whether it's the economy crashing or picking up or there's a pandemic, right, I've been preaching on my YouTube that apartment locating typically is unaffected, right? And so this is, I'm trying to be as respectful as I can, because there's been some casualties and some some deaths and injuries with coronavirus. But at times like this, guys, apartment locating isn't affected, right? People still need a place to live, right? Like if your lease is expiring next month and this pandemic is going on, it's not like you can, some people might renew, but the thing is, if you weren't going to renew your lease term, you weren't going to renew your lease term, right? It's like either you're doing it or you're not. Like something like this might not affect that dramatically, right? So the people that, maybe want to save money on rent, or they need to locate because of work, right? The people that don't renew, they have a reason that they need to get out of their apartment and rent another apartment, right? And so, when that happens, like they still have to move, right? And so my leads, they haven't actually slowed down with apartment locating, right? My income potential hasn't changed. And I just wanted to share this with you guys, right? With my 200 subscribers, because it's important for you guys to understand, right? Because renting an apartment and housing is still a bare minimum necessity. My business hasn't slowed down with apartment locating, even though my vacation rental business has and my online stores have for sure. I'm still leasing people remotely, right? And here's a big thing, right? With apartment locating, I've been saying that I don't have to go to the office, and you work more efficient when you don't go into the office, right? And this is such a perfect example because it's like, you definitely don't want to go to the office now, right? And I don't have to, right? These people call me based off of my online ads, right? Via several online internet platforms that I post on, right? So I get calls for people that are interested in renting an apartment, and I help them lease remotely, right? The thing I've been noticing though in my business is that some properties actually close early, or they're closed, right, on certain days because of this pandemic. And so what's cool about apartment locating is that even though some offices will close early or they're just closed, that I've been seeing, Class C, Class B, and Class A properties that I've been working, the cool thing is that the majority now that we're in 2020, the majority of properties have online live pricing on their websites, right? So I've had some leases where I tell people just to go on the website and that they can apply and lock down a unit, for a certain price, certain apartment number, and certain move-in date, just right there on their website, right? And so when I send the list from my database to them, it's easy to see where they can hop on the website really, really fast. So I've just been making a point now to remind my apartment locating clients that if they really need to move, which they always do, right? That's what's cool about apartment locating. When someone needs to move, they need to move, right? It's not like really like a big choice. So I've been letting them know that, hey, if the complex is closed, because I don't tour with them anyways, I say, hey, pay attention to the live pricing, because chances are, whenever even you ask the leasing agent for pricing, they're going to reference their own website and check for pricing that way. So you can look in there by yourself and then lock down, your move-in date online without talking to anyone, right? And my clients have really been appreciative that I've been reminding them that they can do that, because a lot of the times people still don't know that they can jump on the website and then look at live pricing and apply that way, right? So it's probably important for you guys to say the same thing to your client. But it's been so cool because it's like my business has not been slowing down with apartment locating. It's because I work from home standard. That's my standard policies. My clients can still receive a list and call me from their home, right, knowing that they need an apartment, and then we can have them, apply online and then check for pricing that way, right? So the whole point is this whole business in real estate is remote, right? We don't need a tour, right, at all. We can work from home, and then your clients still need a place to live, right? Like I've had friends that are leasing consultants for new home companies as well, like my friend Jack, and maybe I can get him on camera. I'll go to his house today and see if I can add his thoughts on the virus and how it has affected his business, so you guys can see his perspective as well. But he's been telling me he's had like home sale cancellations because people are like freaking out and they don't want to go through with their purchase. He told me he had a buyer that was like out of state and like he's quarantined, so like there's no way he can meet the terms on his contract. So home sales have been impacted, right? But I just wanted to make a point that like my business isn't slowing down. That's why apartment locating is so cool, right? Like no, you can't make $1 million with apartment locating, right? But you can make 6 figures with ease. And then this is my point when I'm saying it's so reliable, right? Like even when pandemics happen, the economy crashes, the economy picks up, whatever is going on, people still need their basic minimum living essential, which is like renting an apartment, right? It's not a luxury like you're buying a $500,000 home and you don't even really need to spend that much, or you're not buying a $2 million mansion where now you're pausing because there's a virus going on and you're just going to wait on that for later. When you rent an apartment, it's like these people need to rent an apartment, right? And so you can still help them remotely even if there's a pandemic going on. So I just wanted to make a video and respectfully bring up the point that this is such a very safe and reliable job, and this is sort of what I've been talking about when I've been saying that it's reliable, right? Because the whole process can be done remotely. You can help people remotely, send people lists, explain to your clients that they can just jump on the website and then apply just remotely on the website because the pricing's on there. And so yeah, I just wanted to make that point, and then let me see if I can get Jack on here, right? So I'm going to try to get my friend to give you his opinion as well, because he's a top salesperson for a large recognized new home company, right? So I'll see if I can get him on here and give you his thoughts, right? And let you guys know how it's been affecting like a new home sales consultant's business and within real estate as well. So I just wanted to respectfully bring up that point, and then I hope you guys are safe and you guys are taking following cautious protocols, and hopefully we get through this together as a country as soon as possible, right guys? So I will see you guys on the next one, Duck Hunters.